From the combined crew of blindandroidusers.com and accessibleandroid.com, it's time for your favorite Android podcast. Kick back now and enjoy another fine episode from these fanboys and gals as they navigate Android from a blindness perspective. And now, here's your crew.
Hello and welcome to episode 208 of the Blind Android Users podcast. I'm Ed Green and I'm joined today by my co-hosts Warren Carr, John Dyer, Karene Kiwan and Sally Kunders. And we are coming to you on Saturday the 30th of November 2024. After our usual announcement section, our main segment in Android Basics is all about the role of AI in the life of a blind person. We then have a TalkBack highlight from John, who demonstrates the screen search reading controls available as of TalkBack 15.1. And we close with a tip of the week from Karene, who shows us how to use chat filters in Meta's WhatsApp. Well, how are we all? John, how was Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was not too eventful. We just had my parents over, which is good. So it was pretty low key. Just watched a lot of football, so had a good week. I'm excited about this weekend. It's going to be. I love college football, more than NFL, and it's rivalry weekend. So there's so many good games today. I stayed up past midnight watching the Georgia Tech Georgia game last night, which went into 8 overtimes, which was a crazy one. So I'm excited.
That is a lot of overtimes. And let me wish everyone in the States a belated happy Thanksgiving. And from the UK, I can say that you are most welcome. Warren, how are you? How's your week?
A wonderful week. I could say that I'm full of it. That is a turkey, of course. John, who won that overtime? Did your favorite team win it or they lost? What happened?
Well, I was rooting for Georgia Tech because they were the huge underdog. Georgia was supposed to win by like 20 points. And at halftime, Georgia Tech was up by 17 to nothing. And of course, Georgia came back to tie it. And then it went to 8 overtimes and Georgia ended up winning it. So I was a little disappointed, but it was a good game. And it was going so long that I was just at that point just ready for anyone to win. I was waiting.
Oh my goodness! But it was Georgia on Georgia, then Georgia Tech and regular Georgia.
Yep, Georgia Tech lost, but it was an impressive showing from them because they're nowhere near as good as Georgia. They played their butts off.
Wow. That's really good. Well, we're doing well. And of course, the Thanksgiving was here, all that turkey, all that good stuff. Now, I'm not a big turkey kind of guy. Just give me a little leg or a wing, and I'm done with turkey till next year. So that's what happened. But then it's just been very cold and so nice, warm in the house. And so I'm most thankful. And Ed, sorry, you're not full of it.
No, I haven't seen much of the weather this week, really. I've been down all week with a chest infection, which is clearing, but sorry for any hoarse voice or coughs that the mute button and or Warren's editing can't eliminate from the podcast. Yeah, little scratchy this week, but on the mend and hopefully back on it next week. Karene, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. Actually, finally, we're having a ceasefire here. So we're getting some rest. And things are going. We had some rain, and we're expecting more rain. So that's a good one.
Excellent. Your connection's a little in and out, but we will manage. And yeah, fantastic news for everyone that a ceasefire has finally been agreed. Sally, how are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Just like Warren, getting better every day. I want to say that every time. Well, we're down to almost 4 degrees in the early week. Monday and Tuesday, it was snowing here in the city, and now it's just dry cold and it's like freezing.
Chilly, you'll be needing your gloves then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does get cold. I think we were down like 16 degrees or whatever overnight, but it's that time of year. So just have fun and all of that. The most important thing is that you stay inside and where it's nice and warm and all that good stuff. It just
Exactly.
helps the body a lot. And, you and I keep getting better looking, and, the belly achers out there don't like hearing that. So, but it's just
Yeah, I know who is it.
natural life. Yeah.
Something you'll have to take with a pinch of salt from blind people, obviously.
Well, they're not like you. No, good-looking, great-looking guys. Everybody knows. Sally, hold on to it, my boy.
Of course.
And now, the announcement segment. This is a segment dedicated to things we want you to be in the know. And now for this week's episode, here's your announcements.
Now we turn to our announcement section, and something rather big is happening in 3 weeks' time, isn't it, Warren?
I can't believe that the month of November is already running out. It's just unbelievable. Today's the last day, of course. And 3 weeks from now, it's going to be that big party, the 4th anniversary of the Blind Android Users podcast. And my goodness, 2024 is on its way out, and we'll be closing it out in a good way, celebrating our 4th anniversary, guys. And again, we're asking you guys to join us. We'll keep reminding you for the remainder of the time until we have that celebration. And we're looking forward to you guys coming on and celebrating. And hopefully, Sally, maybe by then you'll have found a new squeeze and bringing her to the party at least to say hello.
Obviously, she'll
How
be
about
here.
that?
Yeah.
I'm so much looking forward to that because
Same here, more than you.
yeah, nice to hear that. And it's something good for Christmas because it's just a present
Right.
for both celebrations, and it will be nice. So step up that hunt. You better be out there hunting real good before it really sets in really cold.
Yeah.
And failing that, and in keeping with this week's episode, you could bring an AI squeeze.
Oh,
And
brother.
create an AI girlfriend and bring her instead. But yes, very much looking forward to the 4-year anniversary, and keep an eye out on our usual channels where we'll be posting the link probably in the week prior to the event itself. Any more announcements, or is that it?
I have an announcement that I think Austin would want me to make. Can anybody guess what it is?
I think it involves YouTube statistics of some sort.
Yeah, we as of this week we've reached 1,500 subscribers. So, just want to say thanks to all the listeners who have subscribed to the channel.
Does that mean Google pay us 3 cents every decade or something if we've done that?
No,
not even that. Okay.
But
no,
definitely,
we are
really,
still making 0 cents off
Yeah,
the
yeah.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, we're so thankful to you guys because, John, like you said, this was Austin's baby, and Austin have been so happy to know that we have reached 1,500 subscribers. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you guys for doing that and keeping us growing. And I hope that next year or next 2 years, we'll say, hey, we've reached 3,000. So let's double that baby up and make it good. Thanks so much.
Yep. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And now, the Android Basics segment. This is a segment where we discuss the things that power your device from behind the scenes. And now, here's this week's episode, Android Basics.
And now we turn to our Android Basics section. And this is a topic that you will have heard a lot about in 2024, and it'll only become more and more prevalent, I think. And this is the world of AI, which can certainly be confusing. There are certainly many different AI options available, but it truly has and will continue to, I think, revolutionize the world of accessibility for blind people. A lot to cover in this episode. We'll be talking about tools, our favorite use cases. But who wants to kick this one off?
When it comes to AI, I happen to be one of those guys that wasn't big into AI, and probably I still am not all that into AI. There are, however, certain aspects of it that I really like, and most especially, you guys know where I'm coming down on. I always go back to that 11 Labs reader. It's been my favorite part of the AI and all of that, and just I can't, believe how so human realistic the voices are, and being able to clone somebody's voice and all of that. I think that AI is absolutely huge. And so for me as a blind person, we've struggled a lot of times for trying to find good reading apps, or maybe something that sounds good. When you're reading a book, I know a lot of us are so used to that eloquence and that robotic voices and all of that, but now and then it's nice to hear fresh air of something different that sounds like a human person that you're sitting next to. And I think that for me, if there has been any AI thing that I really like, that has to be it. And all the different nuances and different voices and all of that, I think for me, that is huge and has changed a lot of things in my life when it comes to reading. And I'm most thankful because if you look back on it in general, for us, that is those of us who are blind, the internet has revolutionized our lives, because prior till now, or prior till the internet, we remember how it was, carrying volumes of Braille books. I could not even take my Bible to church because, of course, you didn't know where the pastor was going to be reading from and things like that. And now the internet made that possible. I mean, digital world, and made it possible for us to have all these electronic things. And now all that AI and getting that good reading, and most especially some of them that have both the realistic voice, and as well as letting you see what is on the screen. So if you're a Braille reader, you would also be interacting with your Braille display. So I'm most thankful for AI. I know it's kind of like a curse or a blessing. Sometimes there's some things in there that one needs to be careful about, but for the most part, I'm loving it.
I'd love to see some of those AI voices become available with, as traditional TTS engines for use with TalkBack and Jieshuo. I don't tend to use many, I was going to say self-voicing, and I guess that's right. Self-voicing applications when I'm reading. So most of the stuff I read will be via my system TTS. So it'd be amazing to see some of those AI voices roll out. I think once processing power allows, and they can be used sensibly offline and broken up, as our TTS developer we had on a few months ago explained. It would be great to have that option for something like TalkBack and Jieshuo, I think.
I'm in total agreement with you, when we hear AI, and my thought was that by now we probably would have had so many TTS engines that are AI powered, and we'll be in a blissful world. But for some reason, it seems no one is understanding that, and they keep throwing all these things on the Play Store that says, AI, text-to-speech and all of that. And of course, like we mentioned earlier on when we were demonstrating some of these things, I don't think that they get. I don't think they get it. They don't understand that when we talk about AI, text to speech, we're wanting something that is system wide. But you get a dime a dozen of those things on the Play Store and all of that, and it's so annoying. I wish they could just take the word TTS out of it, put something else in there. But frankly, yes, Ed, I wish we could have that. And I don't know what 11 Labs is waiting for. Maybe someone hasn't told them, hey, give us a TTS engine, because that would just do it for me. I think it would be absolutely beautiful.
You know what would be nice, and this is asking too much, but a guy can dream, right? Is if TalkBack had a feature where you could turn on an option to read in high quality when you invoke continuous reading. So like if you were to double tap with 3 fingers to start, or triple tap with 2 fingers to start continuous reading, it would automatically get like a really high quality Gemini voice from the cloud and start reading it. Because in that situation, it wouldn't really have to be super responsive, and you could have a really high quality voice in that situation. Again, that's not going to happen, but that would be cool.
No, John, I think it would happen. That's a good idea. I don't think anyone's ever thought about that. I mean, since they're kind of integrated with Gemini somehow, this is absolutely a beautiful, dream and a suggestion, I may say, because if you're going to be doing a continuous read, let's just tap into Gemini and grab one of those voices, or maybe one's preferred voice. I think this couldn't have been a better idea. It's the best idea, because we can then just relax and hear a nice voice reading your article or whatever you want to read, whether it's a book. And if they do that, that will solve a lot of the problems. Kindle, I'm looking at you. I'm talking about the stupid Amazon Kindle. So I'm looking at you, Kindle. If we have this, then I wouldn't even bother about Kindle anymore. And so I wouldn't be crying about Amazon. Hey, let us have that continuous read and all of that. So yeah, I think this is a great idea. We should pitch this to the feedback for the TalkBack and see if something of this nature could be implemented. I'm 100% on board with this. It's a beautiful idea.
And TalkBack itself has benefited from the introduction of AI, as we demonstrated a few months ago in the rollout of TalkBack 15, where you can have images described now, either online using most phones, or somewhat erratically offline on the latest Pixel series. And I think this feature really has been a game changer, hasn't it? It's really convenient. I'm sure they will, or I hope they will, build on it, allow you to ask questions. But I find myself using that quite a lot, especially on social media.
Yeah, I think I used that more than anything else AI related. It was one of those things where I thought, this is exciting. I'm using it a lot because it's new, but it'll probably like die down and I won't use it. But no, I'm still using it. And if I ever had to not use it, I'd be very sad.
Well, you guys know that I have not been always big on the image description thing, but I have found so much use for it, John, like you said. And so I have this, this girl I call the girlfriend. She sends me images, and it just maybe it will be like a bouquet of flowers, and at the bottom of it, it'll like good morning, or happy Sunday, something like that. And frankly, without that description, all of this would have been meaningless to me. So to see that, it's a huge game changer, especially for those of us who are blind, and you finally look at a picture and it gives you that vivid description. I mean, sometimes it goes the extra mile and giving you all the nuances and all of that, but I mean, that's an icing on the cake when it comes to that. And I am really liking it, and find myself using it too, John, even though I'm not a big fan, but that has made it fun for me to look at images, because prior I'm like, well, I'm not seeing it, so what's the point? But now it just made all the difference. And I don't think that even sighted people sometimes, take note of those other nuances that the image description gives us. So yeah, indeed, I'm so much thankful that we have something like that. It's just a huge life changer. I mean, you cannot see the picture, but at least you have an idea of what the picture is all about. And I love it. I'm there with you.
Yeah, image description is really something good for us both, Warren, because sometimes we want to see how AI thinks about us.
The last
Yeah.
time I did this with you two, I put your photos in the AI, and like the AI refused to work again. It literally went on
No.
strike. It said, "Don't do that to me.
Uh,
Make me
I
unsee
mean, jealousy says it all.
that."
You call him a belly acher. That's the problem. But yeah, but you couldn't get any better looking than Sally and I. Just great looking kids. But yeah, it's just a game changer for us as blind
Mhm.
people. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, because on social media you get to see a lot of pictures, and especially in working environment, we get to see a lot of text documents being sent us as a picture, as a photo on our messaging apps, and all we can do is just sharing with our favorite apps and getting the description of it. And sometimes we get the description even better than most sighted people can do. So they say, "Wow, it's amazing that you have this. I couldn't describe it like that."
Well, isn't it something, those Sally, talking about, that text in there? Because, a lot of times, someone wants to send you a document and all they do is just shoot a picture of it
Yeah.
and send it to you. And then you're struggling, prior till now, all the difficulties those of us blind people had. We had to look for a converter that would convert it into either Word or extract the text or try to do OCR. And frankly, with the implementation of AI, those things have been simplified to where you could just have it describe that image and it has that text in there, or you could choose to recognize it, and it just simplifies things. And so I tell you, I am so thankful because it cuts down on the process of going an extra mile trying to get something very simplistic get done. And now we have the ability to do so, and I'm happy about that.
It's such an involvement because, like, a couple of days ago, I was seeing, like, somebody sent me a document and said, like, can your AI transcribe it to the text so we could use it? I said, like, I mean, how you used to do that before AI?
I think sometimes, Sally, you mentioned about sharing apps. Obviously, until the feature develops, if you want to ask questions of an image or an image description, then you might still need to share it. And we'll probably come on to talk about some of the apps you can use for that. But hopefully, TalkBack will allow you to query what's in that image, because I think that would be really good.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
So, Karene, I know you use AI a lot. So, what are your reflections on how the landscape's looking right now?
Well, actually, I'm the person who is so much interested in the AI thing, especially in the image description and video description things. And actually, since I started writing about these improvements or developments like a few months ago, and I was testing things always, so I can say with confidence that this has been improved so much. Compared to how it was at the beginning. So first, okay, we were having some good things, but right now things are really improving quickly. The descriptions are becoming more meaningful. They are becoming like they are sometimes so much impressive. The hallucination is starting to become less. The ability of describing videos is something that we were not like dreaming of before, and it's now becoming much more better, and it's becoming something that we can rely on. So actually, AI is, I know that sometimes you put AI everywhere and it's just a gimmick, it's just nothing, but with blind people and image description in particular, things are really exciting, and they are becoming more and more exciting with time actually. So if I talk about the TalkBack thing, actually it's the image description is the thing that made me very much excited about TalkBack. I wasn't excited about a feature in TalkBack since maybe years, but image description made me use it again and made me always feel like, okay, Google did it right this time, and they really did it right. So the thing is that Jieshuo is trying also to go into AI thing, and it's trying to add more things. Like if we compare it with TalkBack, actually you are able to ask questions, you are able to search, as I said, for a certain object in the image. So yeah, it's going much further than TalkBack. But the thing is that TalkBack is much better with respect to the Gemini. If we compare to the Chinese AI, it's still better. Okay, Vivo does it good sometimes, but Gemini really impressed me, and it's the only thing that Gemini is always to do right, is always able to do right, because image description and video description in Gemini is something different. So if you just rely on Gemini regarding image description, you will not be disappointed. So I think that we are going really in the right direction. And actually, let me just take the opportunity to advertise my articles. If anyone is interested to read about image description, video services, comparisons, and other AI-related stuff. So you are welcome to do so. The articles are on Accessible Android.
Talking about articles, Karene, and so we ventured a little bit. Let me veer into the the video description, because we also have capabilities now of describing videos. We remember you talking about the confused screen reader, Joshua, if I were Austin, how it was able to describe videos and in a different fashion. Another one that we had talked about here, and we had a developer on here, was that PiccyBot app that describes both pictures and videos. So you see, we kind of have it, in many places. So whether it's pictures or videos, I think that the one that we didn't have prior to all of that was that video description, because prior to that, we had nothing in that area. So I think we're benefiting from a lot of the AI, no matter which way one slices, the whole subject matter. And so to me, I'm so thankful, we have all these things, and it will only get better and better as time goes on. Like Karene, you said, every month, something new comes on, and it's like better than prior. And exactly that's what's happening.
Well, Warren, the thing is that the ability to mimic the human language use and the ability of this conversational capability, and those things are really taking all of this to a different level. AI is now able to those models, available models, are able to express the videos, what's in a video, in a really good way. They are able to show you the relation between the scenes. They are able to give you a meaningful description. Okay, there are mistakes and there are troubles, and people should know that AI has its limitations, and it's not able to think logically. It's just trying to learn. It's just okay, but it's really moving forward. It's really moving forward quickly. So I think when you know the limitations and you try to benefit from the capabilities, you will get really something great. So, and it's enough just to use PiccyBot to see that we are really going somewhere. And I usually get a video, good descriptions, and asking follow-up questions is something different. So I was able a few days ago to ask about a certain character in an ad, and it was able to tell me all of the scenes of this person. It was able to tell me about the expressions of that person and all of that stuff. So I think we are really going to an exciting place. And let me just say one thing here. The great thing is that we are able to benefit from all of this, and that developers are really going into this territory. They are really going to this field. So we are not left behind this time. And it's really, really great when you feel like a blind person is not left behind, and there are services that are competing. So this competition is for our advantage.
So should we talk about some of the, I'm not sure whether to start with mainstream solutions or blindness ones. Why don't we start with blindness ones? Talk about some of those that have integrated AI and whether we use those, that they are all increasingly doing it now. So Be My Eyes obviously has Be My AI, which is, I don't know, probably the most developed of the thing, where of these solutions, where essentially you can ask about pictures you've taken. It works pretty well. It's an alternative to calling a volunteer or the specialized help that they offer. As of recording, I think it's just worth making a distinction for anyone interested, although it's not strictly speaking Android related. A lot of people are interested in the Meta glasses from Facebook, which have incorporated Be My Eyes. They haven't incorporated this because they have their own AI at the minute, or whether that will happen later, we'll have to see. But Be My AI is going to be a phone or a computer thing for now. But in my experience, it seems to work pretty well. It's pretty popular. Does anyone else use Be My AI on Be My Eyes?
Yeah, I probably use that the most. And then second, we should also mention Seeing AI, which was it around this time last year, or has it already been 2 years? I think it was around this time last year, if I'm not mistaken, that it finally, Seeing AI finally came to Android.
Yeah,
and that's
both came like in December.
they
They
came
came
at the
out
same
together
time.
like in December. The Be My AI from Be My
When it
Eyes, and
rains,
then
it
Seeing
pours,
AI.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
We
That's
were
what
in a drought over here in Android land, and then it started flooding.
Now,
Yeah.
talking about Seeing AI, John, I think that one aspect or feature of Seeing AI that I really like is that mode where you could explore the picture or the image in focus. And once you have it in focus, then you can look at, you move your finger around, it'll let you know this is, if you're exploring a person, this is the head, or, this is the face, things like that. And I thought that is really interesting because in general description, all that it does, whether it's Be My Eyes, Be My AI from Be My Eyes, or is Lookout, or, from Seeing AI itself, if all you're doing is just an image description, it just tells you what it sees and maybe the surrounding things. But I like that feature from Seeing AI where you could just explore the image and know, yeah, this is the window, this is the chair, and things like that.
Yeah,
I think that's so
it's good
clever
for
for them
getting
to do
the layout.
These are the
things like
cheeks.
remotes.
that. Yeah, those are the tricks.
But more
and-
practically, it's good for like learning the layout of a remote or a microwave or something like that.
yeah.
Although you guys seem to like exploring body parts.
Yeah, so really, I really like that because it further gives us more information or the layout of the image in question. So, because when a sighted person looks at an image, they're seeing the different parts of that image and all of that. And so I really like, whoever it is that came up with that idea, I think is absolutely a brilliant thinker that thought, hey, we need to give blind people the ability to also explore the images. And so I'm most thankful for that. And it goes down as part of my Thanksgiving Day thank yous for this time of year.
Karene, have you played much with the video description features in Seeing AI? I just wondered if you had a view which was better out of PiccyBot or Seeing AI for that.
Okay, here I want to advertise my article again. Actually, I had a comparison between the two services, how they work a few days ago. Let's put it in the show notes, actually. So to tell you the thing, the problem with Seeing AI is that it's not really good when you are dealing with a bad internet connection or with a slow upload speed. So the problem is that it doesn't wait. It just gives you few seconds, like 30 seconds, and then it will stop if it doesn't finish uploading. So this is the real issue, that people are not having an equal connection. So this is making Seeing AI not used by some people, including me. I'm always facing issues with Seeing AI. But to tell you about how Seeing AI works, First of all, Seeing AI uses only one AI service, which is it's just normal to assume that it's ChatGPT, because Microsoft and OpenAI. So first of all, ChatGPT or Seeing AI uses one service, whereas PiccyBot gives you the ability to select your AI model, and it supports several of them, including Gemini, GPT-4o for Mini, Claude, and others. So this is an advantage to the PiccyBot service. Another difference is that Seeing AI doesn't check or doesn't include the sounds in the analysis. So it's just analyzing the scenes as frames without any audio thing. So sometimes having the sound could help you in getting the context, in giving more better recognition. So this is another difference between the two services. And another thing is that how they both work. So with Seeing AI, you are having the video, it's playing. Then after one scene, like few seconds, it will pause, and then it will tell you what it saw. After that, it will play again, and it will tell you what this scene includes, and like this. So it's trying to make a synchronization between the video itself, it's the scenes, and what's so the video itself and the scenes and the recognition and the description. So whereas with PiccyBot, it's taking the video, uploading it, analyzing the video, and then giving you a description. So this is useful. Sometimes you will get better results with Seeing AI. Sometimes you will get a better result with PiccyBot. But the thing is that okay, you may get a summary with PiccyBot, or it will just ignore a certain scene. This won't happen with Seeing AI because of the nature of the description and how it syncs to the video itself. But with PiccyBot, you can ask follow-up questions, whereas with Seeing AI, you can't. So I think here, PiccyBot compensates, because with Seeing AI right now, you are unable to ask any question after the description. But with PiccyBot, you can say, hey, I want to know about this particular scene or this particular character. So yeah, I think both are good, and having them both is really good. And I hope that we will get more and more services in the future. So this will be better and better. So they both work. They both give meaningful descriptions, but they work differently.
Excellent. No, that's a really good comparison, and the link to the article is now in the show notes in real time, just like that, as you were telling us about that.
So I think that, tagging on to what Karene just said, I think, though, if I were to be using these, I probably would prefer the method of the Seeing AI, because it kind of, in a sense, reminds me of the audio video description versus what the PiccyBot does, summarizes. So I think that in reality, if I'm not mistaken, sounds like Seeing AI gives you the true to life as to what's going on. I mean, it's not like the other one's not giving you true to life, but it's more of a summarization of what's going on. I think I would prefer the approach that the Seeing AI takes. And, Karene, your connectivity was having some problem earlier on when we were discussing the subject of the Seeing AI. And we were talking about one feature that I really like is the ability to explore an image or the layout of an image. And I think that's another plus for me when it comes to Seeing AI, something that I haven't found in other image description related apps.
But it is good to keep in mind the differences, because, as Karene just laid it out, depending on what the content is, what type of video it is that you want described, you are going to know going into it which app is going to be better for you, depending on what you're trying to get out of it.
Another newcomer, I suppose, although we've touched it on the podcast 2 or 3 weeks ago to the AI landscape, is Envision. So they have put this in a separate app on the phone anyway, and that is Ally. where this is still in beta, so it's relatively new. A good thing about it, I think, is that it does use the 11 Labs voices, so highly realistic voices. Like PiccyBot, it lets you configure the personality of your assistant to a degree. I think when we were talking about it a few weeks ago, there were a few limitations still in that the data it seemed then anyway to have access to was pretty old. If you asked it the date, it would keep telling you were in 2023 when you weren't. But nonetheless, it's looking pretty good. It can describe scenes fairly well. And if you do own the Envision glasses, then it has now been incorporated, I think, into the latest update of those. So Ally is on the glasses. I'm not quite sure why they named it Ally, given that that's what they call the human assistants you can access by the glasses, but maybe they'll change that. Seems like a bit of needless marketing confusion to me. Has anyone played with Ally much? I know we talked about it a bit a couple of weeks ago, but while we're on AI.
I signed up for the beta when it was available, and I still haven't heard back, so I haven't had the chance to try it.
Oh, it's available on the Play Store.
It's available on the Play Store. You don't have to be waiting for them.
Yeah.
But, they fixed the date-related thing, Ed. So it now says the dates correctly. And also, in addition to that, they rolled out a web interface as well. So if you don't want to use the app and you're on your computer, or, if you want to use the browser on your phone, you could also access that as well. So that's another thing that's going on. And frankly, I'm glad we have these things. But, the thing that is kind of confusing, like you said, Ed, is the naming scheme. They call it Ally. Now we have something called Ally also, which used to be RF&B, recording for the blind. I think that a few years ago, they renamed themselves to Ally. And now we have this other Ally. And so I don't know what's going on here, but so you got to look for Envision Ally or whatever. But I just kind of wish that developers wouldn't be using the same names, when someone already has it. Stay the F away from it. That's all I say.
I don't know about that, but Envision using it twice seems particularly silly, especially because there are now 2 apps from Envision called Ally, unless they've pulled their human assistants on and renamed it. But yeah, John, I did what you did. I signed up to the beta, but the first I then heard was when it was effectively an open beta in the Play Store. Sally, were you going to come in just then?
Yeah, for the naming issues, I think that's why Google Gemini is now Gemini, because it used to be Bard, and there was a confusion,
with our NLS friends.
Yeah. So speaking of Ally, I'm having really crazy issue that whenever I start a call, the Ally is talking to itself. It says hi and tries to say hi back. Like it hears itself and tries to talk to itself for some silly reason. Help they can fix it.
You should do that thing. Where people had the Alexas and the Google Homes talk to each other. You should see if Gemini will talk to Ally and have a conversation with it in its open whatever live thing it's called. Gemini Live, isn't it?
Technically, they would say, okay, it's because of your phone, but never happens with ChatGPT. I can talk to it using the loudspeaker, but using the Ally, it's talking to itself, like it's interrupting itself. It says, hi, how are you? And answers, like replies himself back saying, I'm okay.
I didn't see that while using it. It does just well like Gemini does for me. So I don't know what's going on. That's really odd. That would be absolutely annoying.
Super annoying. That don't want to Now it's available in multiple languages. Like you can use it over 20 languages right now with the latest update. But still, this issue has not been fixed. So for that reason, I don't feel like using it and testing it.
How long can you make the conversation go on for? Like, how long will it talk to itself before it realizes that actually?
No, it never it tries to talk to itself for like 1 minute, and then it's not going to respond to anything.
Oh, I thought it could keep going and like have a conversation with itself all day. That would be quite funny.
Yeah, like
Now, is that happening in Turkish, or you're
no,
also
it's
observing that in
all
English? 'Cause
like
I
it's
don't
not
see that
just me.
while
Like a
using the
couple of
English
people
version.
also mentioned it in their Slack channel, and they
Ah,
first they changed the channel like from call to media, and they changed it to callback, but the issue still persists.
I'll have to try it again because, like, I swear it wasn't doing that at my end. And the only
Mhm.
problem that I was having with it was, that dating thing that Ed was talking about. But
Mhm.
I think as of, last week or maybe whenever it was, it had an update and that was fixed.
Wow.
That was the problem I was having with it. But so I'll try it again and see if
Mhm.
it actually interrupts itself.
Yeah.
Regarding this ally thing, actually, when they made it use the call channel, it was much better. It was able to work as it should, but people were trying to say, hey, we want it to be back in the media channel, and we want it to be with a better quality, we want to hear it better and stuff. So when they reverted to using the media channel, things were starting to become worse. Now, for me, I'm not having I had the interruption issue like a few days back, but currently I'm having like a worse issue, which is that Ally is not hearing me at all. It's refusing completely to hear anything from me, so it's not working at all. To be honest, I haven't reported this until now, but I'm going to. However, the assistant itself is something good. I think it has a potential, to be fair. It's like trying to make something, trying to be a real assistant. Like when you are in the call, you are able to ask it about to tell you something using the camera. So, for example, you can show it a document. You can ask it what's in the view. It's now only able to check one image. It's not like something. It's not video or anything like that. It's just seeing the image. But it's good. I mean, the ability to see or to check the view like directly when you are talking with it is something good. This is one point. Another thing, the dating thing, the dates thing is just fixed, as you said, Warren. They fixed that, and now it's able to tell you also the recent developments, like the news. It was able to give me accurate information about the current situation here. So I think it's improving. It has a potential. It just needs work. I know that it's not easy to build such assistant and to keep it going and to maintaining it. It's not really easy. It uses data. It uses work.
Yeah.
So for this reason, I think we should appreciate what they are trying to do. People can install this. Because although it's a beta, but there is no limitation. There is no need to join any beta program. So it's in the Play Store. It's in early access. So people can install it, but they should just know that it's in its early stages. So they should be patient, and they should know all of the limitations.
So I just pulled it up, and I'm going to try to bring it up here live. I just pull Ally app in my apps drawer, and here's Ally.
Ally in grid. Ally. Settings button out of grid.
So now I'm going to tap on that Talk to Ally.
Talk to Ally. More options button.
Hey there, how's it going today?
I'm doing okay. What's up with you?
I'm just hanging out, ready to groove on some fun with you. What's today's plan? Got anything exciting?
Just reflecting on Black Friday. You got any Black Friday ideas for me?
Black Friday, huh? It's the ultimate shopping game day. How about diving into some epic online deals while you chill at home? Maybe score that gadget you've been eyeing. What's on your wish list?
Let's go about chilling then. I think I'll be chilling in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, or whatever I may be in. But hey, you have any ideas about what I can buy for my little girl for Christmas?
Chilling in Cedar Rapids sounds like a plan. For your little girl, how about something that fuels her imagination and fun? Maybe a cool Lego set or a playful art kit? If she's
You
into
forgot
that
to tell
sounds-
him the age of your girl.
Yeah, that sounds very good. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your suggestion. And I think my little girl, though, is maybe like 16. What do you think is appropriate?
A 16-year-old. How about something trendy and techie, like the latest headphones or a fun instant camera? Maybe a
Some
stylish
AirPods.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea. I think I'll go with the headset. Thank you so much, Ally.
You're welcome. A headset sounds like the perfect gift to rock her world. If you need more fun ideas or just want to chat, I'm here for you.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Catch you later, Warren. Have a blast shopping and chilling.
Recent apps.
Yeah, so there it is. You see, mine doesn't interrupt itself. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, like I said, it's kind of like been better, since that other time we talked about it where it was giving wrong dates and things like that. I got that update, and so it's not too bad.
I can't even believe this thing is out. I must have been under a rock or something. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's been available there on the Play Store, so no need to wait for the beta invitation. And like I said, you could even use it on the web if you
That's how you know it's
wanted
football
to.
season. I'm getting
Yeah,
behind.
well, football
check
is
dues.
important. Don't mess with don't mess with my football, boy. I don't even care about football, but frankly, it's football season, and we're coming to that point in football where more and more teams are either going to be getting eliminated, things like that, coming down to the wires here.
Yeah, and I've just been doing the show notes in flight again, and both Ally apps from Envision are still on the Play Store. So Kartik Squared or anyone else listening from Envision, if you do indeed listen to us, please change the name of one of your apps. You'll be happy to know, folks, that I check these things for you, though, and the right one will be in the show notes links. Does anyone know what AI service Envision uses? Is it ChatGPT, Karene? Do you know, or does it use something else?
Do you mean in the assistant, the Ally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said that they are using GPT. I think so, but I don't know which version exactly. But yeah, he said that they are using, but they are also thinking about other choices. So it's not the end. It's not the final decision. They may just use another thing in the future because it's still in early the stages. But I think now they are using GPT.
Maybe we should bring Karthik on here next week and grill him up. Just kidding. But frankly, I think it may make sense for him to come here and talk about this because there are things that we are not familiar with. Yeah, one of the Kartiks.
They've got two, haven't they?
No, I think there's just one, right?
There are two Kartiks.
There are two now? Okay.
Yeah, must have been a Black Friday deal or something. Two Kartiks for the price of one.
I love that. Yeah, so, I'll take 2 for 1.
Yeah. That would be good if they came back. So we've mentioned a few of the mainstream AI providers in and amongst, because these solutions are built on and tailored for us, but by their developers. But it is worth talking about some of those mainstream ones because you might want to use them directly for whatever reason. Obviously, there is Microsoft Copilot, which we probably won't really talk about. There's Meta AI, but probably the two big ones are still ChatGPT, the one that got all this ball rolling, and Google Gemini. Karene, again, do you think GPT, generally speaking, is still the better one?
Indeed. Whenever I try to give a Gemini a chance, it just does something stupid, and it makes me stick to my words. Actually, to be serious, the thing is that Gemini is still really quickly confused. the Gemini descriptions with images and videos are something really different than what you get when you are talking with the Gemini Live. It's easy to make it feel confused and to let it say things that are not right. Like it's possible to tell it to convince it that you are in 2025, not in 2024. So this is one example. So it has real issues that they have to work on. I mean, there are things that are so much basic. You shouldn't have those problems, I think. So ChatGPT is much, let's say, stable right now. It's you can rely it more. However, both have their issues. ChatGPT also, when it tries to give you information about like things that are more current, it has issues. It confuses things up. So it's always important to know that you can't bring information from any AI service, any AI bot without trying to make sure that the information is all right. You have to fact check. You have to give yourself time to research. Not take what AI says and go ahead and use it in your projects or studies or whatever. So you should be always careful. But something that ChatGPT does really well is, I'm not a native speaker, and since I'm not a native English person, it's easy for me to have grammar issues. Sometimes I don't get the right spelling. Sometimes I have an issue in expressing a certain idea. So in this situation, ChatGPT just helps me a lot, and it helps other people as well. I know some people just use it to write everything for them, including students. But if you use ChatGPT to correct things, to give you ideas in brainstorming also, it will really help you a lot, because you feel like you're talking with a real person. And you know that with those things like grammar correction, spelling correction and stuff, it usually does things right. So I think for us non-native English speakers, it gave us like a piece of confidence. We are now able to trust our abilities more, because we are able to have an assistant that will work on correcting things and on fixing issues and on collaborating with us to be better in our writing, in our in our idea expression. So yeah, it's really great.
And just building on that, the other neat thing that ChatGPT will try and do, if you ask it to, is fix formatting issues in documents, which can be useful as a blind person. Obviously, you have tools like Text Analyzer and JAWS, which points out what it thinks are errors. I have to say, in not particularly helpful language, in my view, and it will not attempt to fix them itself. But if you have a Word document and you put it up to ChatGPT, and be as precise as you can in terms of what you want it to do, but you could say fix formatting inconsistencies, particularly font and spacing issues, and it will do a pretty good job. You still need to check it, but as a blind person, that can be a pretty handy thing to have done.
Yeah, I think I haven't done it, but Sala, don't you use it to add can it add HTML tags to text for you? Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it does perfectly. I mean, I love how fast and how accurate it does the tags. Well, it really does it well.
Brilliant.
Touching on the subject of formatting, Ed, you just touched on a very
Yeah.
important issue there, because I remember, back in school days, going to college, and, formatting was very important. And for a student, that's a very good thing, especially for blind people, because since we don't see what's going on the screen, most of the time, a lot of us didn't know how to format those. And I remember teaching kids how to format those things, the different heading styles and all of that. And so this is very important. You could have, these AI models kind of just help you within that parameter, telling them how you want it. And I think it's a win-win situation. It's very important you mentioned this, and it's a very good feature that if that chat AI could do that for you, then I think people could take advantage of it. Just upload your stuff and let it format it right for you, because certain people would like it to be this way. Maybe you want an APA or, whatever style and things like that. I think this is where some of these AI capabilities would come in very handy.
Yeah, and it will condense for you as well. So, I don't know, let's say you're writing a report for work and you've got a word limit. Let's say you've got a job application and you've run over. You can load it and say, essentially, get this down to however many words. Now, you want to be sensible about this because it does it online. So, as anything, you need to be careful what you put into it. But it can also help bring down the length of something to kind of make it slightly more concise.
Yeah, but always recheck.
Yeah, including on the formatting. Yeah. Check the formatting as well.
Everything.
That goes for everything. Yeah, exactly. I would use when I was in school, I would probably use the expand feature rather than condense, because I would always be like trying to reach that word count I'm supposed to reach for my paper or that page count and be like, okay, how can I say this more wordy? And I've already said everything I want to say, but just make it more wordy,
Yeah. Isn't that something though? But yeah, so we have tools that we didn't have when I was going to school. And I look at the kids today, I'm like, gosh, doggone it, if I had these tools when I was going to school, I'll be, A in everything. There would have not been a single B anywhere. So if you're a serious student and like working hard, you have little assistance, you're going to get straight A's using these AI tools, helping you in fixing those errors.
And again, on ChatGPT, Google have made Gemini Live, the conversational mode, essentially free. Does anyone know if that's still paid for on ChatGPT, or is that free there now as well under ChatGPT 4.0, that conversation element?
5 minutes per month for free users. I don't know what's the limit for paid users, but for free users, it's 5 minutes per month.
Okay.
Is that 5 minutes per month or per day?
No, it's per month. It's just to give you an overview of the feature, just to let you feel like I want this thing, so I'm gonna subscribe. Nothing more than that.
When I tried for the first time before paying for GPT, it was 10 minutes of conversation for free, but then it said if you want to continue, you can pay for the plus, and I'm doing it for 2 months, and I'm really enjoying the GPT Plus now.
Wait, is it 5 or 10?
10.
Are you sure?
For me, it was 10.
Because they like your handsomeness.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna recheck. Now you see the benefit of being good looking. This is something you guys don't grasp. We've been telling you.
But there's not much of a difference between 5 and 10 minutes if it's for an entire month. So still basically they're just trying to get you to pay.
Ed, you will definitely like that. But I love talking about football with GPT. Like, it's awesome. Like the responses are so good. Like you're actually talking to your friend, talking about your team.
Cool. I'm gonna have to give it a try. I might have to pay for it for a bit. I got a free trial, I think, but then it said
you can do the trial and talk about where the Huddersfield is going.
Yeah. I'll definitely check that out. One thing we might close with then is, I suppose we've touched on it a little bit, but I'll go around everyone and ask them what their hopes for AI are in 2025. Karene, what about you?
In general, first of all, I wanted to be less confident. First of all, I like to have it be able to know when it's like saying things that might not be the right things, to give me like this is a probability. It's not maybe it's not right. So this confidence, I hope that they will try to work on it. Another thing is I want more services that are tailored to blind people, even in the mainstream AI models, like the ability to tailor things to blind people in a way like image description. to have something from ChatGPT, which is only for blind people, focusing on things that a blind person may need. Another thing is that to talk about or to try to make people aware about the troubles of AI, because people are relying on AI so much in a way that is becoming toxic sometimes, and becoming causing a real trouble for the coming generation. So I think those are the things that I want to be improved in the 2025. But it's really, I think we are going to an interesting place.
Sounds good. One thing you can do with ChatGPT, you can certainly change it on Windows, but I guess it carries over. If you go into settings, you can both tell it about yourself and how you want it to respond. So where I've seen this demonstrated, where it might help the blind, is on a training course that one of our trainers, Brian Hartgen, did. So essentially, he told it he was blind. Then he said, if I ever ask you for computer-related operations, always respond in detail with keyboard shortcuts where available. And it did. Now, that's not going to tailor it in every instance, and I'm sure there's a ways to go, but you can certainly configure ChatGPT, whether that setting's available on Android, I'm not sure, but you can do that on Windows. Sally laughed because I sent the crew a video of this, and I think I mentioned it, sorry, a demonstration of this. And I think I mentioned it a few weeks ago, but I said, whatever I asked you, you have to get pulling Sally, Karene, and Warren's cheeks into the answer. And it did. I asked it what the weather was like in London, and it said it would be great if Sally, Warren, and Karene came so I could pull their cheeks. I omitted John, for which I remain mortally sorry.
Well, I don't think John would like his cheeks to be pulled anyway. Neither do I.
So Warren, I'll ask you the same question. What are your hopes for AI in 2025?
Well, so going back to what I started saying earlier when we got started on the subject matter, I want to see a TTS engine based on that, or like something that John was talking about, being able to tap into AI when I say read, do a continuous read on my TalkBack. The second one is what Karene was talking about, and it's kind of related to that, and it's something I think we've talked about on here for a little while ago, and that's the ability, let's say I'm interacting with Gemini Live, and then I could ask it to, interact with my camera, so I could take shots using the, while I'm with Gemini Live, or, maybe ask it to describe pictures that are in my camera view. So I want to see a tight integration with the camera, so I would be able to use it as a blind person, or ask it to describe things that it sees for me in the camera. I think that would be absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that last one is going to be my answer to that. I want the sort of live video, live camera to work. So, if you're trying to flag down a cab with a light on, or have a bus number announced, obviously there are sort of other ways that you can try and get that information. Some of the Envision modes might do the bus number, but if you can tell it, I'm waiting for this particular bus, only tell me when you see that one, or I need a cab with a light on, don't tell me about all the other ones. That might be quite an interesting use case for a live image description, live video description that supposedly both ChatGPT and Gemini are working on. So hopefully it's very close. And I've seen a Be My Eyes video from a few months ago where that happened. Now, whether that was an end state video and the feature wasn't available and it was sort of a proof of concept thing, or whether it was a very early stage one, I'm not sure. But hopefully something like that will be early 2025 rather than late. John, how about you?
I'm in agreement with most of, or actually all of what you guys have said. I'm going to bring up something you mentioned earlier. I'd like to see TalkBack let you ask follow-up questions. I think that would be, it's already a game changer, but that would be so much better, because there's so many situations where I want to ask something specific. But, other than that, I know I've complained about this a lot in the past, and I know they are working on it, supposedly, but I just want Gemini to do everything for me that Google Assistant did for me, since it's my Google Assistant replacement now. And I know that's not technically AI related, but, it won't even open a website when I tell it to open a website. It won't, I can't say play a certain radio station on Sirius XM like I used to be able to say to Google Assistant. I can't say do a search in Amazon for a certain product and have it open Amazon already having searched for the product. Just give me back what you took and I'll be happy. I'm a simple man.
I agree with that.
Fill up them cards, John. Most especially now that Christmas is upon us. I don't want to be going in there and trying to type what I'm looking for. Try to voice search. I could just ask the assistant, and fill up the card with the best offering available. I love the idea.
And Sally, how about you?
Well, just like everyone of us, I want to have live video to be able to ask questions about what the AI can see on my camera, and being able to ask about like photos on my gallery and getting answers in the right time, right moment, and more personalized kind of thing, like being able to ask the AI to make a playlist for me on Spotify, or like GPT Plus is able to do this somehow. Like if you send the link and like tell me about this item on Amazon or any other website, how does it look, or can you tell me about the goods and bad sides, pros and cons on this product? It's able to do this, but even a better sense of explaining things could be really helpful, especially on web when you see the visuals, but it doesn't make any sense. That's going to be great, I think.
Yeah. Do you use Jaws, Sally, or not? Do you use NVDA?
I'm NVDA.
Okay. I was going to say, because Jaws Picture Smart will do that if you did.
And now, for the faithfuls, this is a native Android screen reader segment, simply referred to as TalkBack Highlights. This is where some new feature or new happening with TalkBack is featured. And now, here's your newest TalkBack highlight.
Now we come to our TalkBack highlights, and John shows us another feature of TalkBack 15.1, namely the new screen search reading control.
Welcome to the next installment of TalkBack Highlights. Today I'm going to show you how to use reading controls to navigate through your current search term using screen search. This is a new feature in TalkBack 15.1. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have this reading control enabled, and to do that, you're going to bring up the TalkBack menu.
TalkBack menu. Spell last spoken phrase. TalkBack settings.
Go to TalkBack settings.
TalkBack settings. Navigate up button. Headings.
I'm going to navigate by headings.
Audio heading. Controls heading.
And under controls,
Customize focus. Customize gestures. Customize menus.
you're going to go to customize menus.
Customize menus. Customize TalkBack menu. To use the TalkBack menu, tap the screen with 3 fingers. You can also swipe up then right or swipe down then right. Customize reading controls. To use the reading controls, swipe left or right with 3 fingers. You can also swipe up or down with 3 fingers.
So I'm going to go in here to reading controls.
Customize reading controls. Reading heading.
Now what we're going to look for in here is screen search. We'll scroll down
Control
a bit.
Windows. Jump default navigation. Screen search. Jump to other screen search results. Not checked. Checkbox.
I'm going to turn this on.
Checked.
Now that this is on, I'm going to go to a web page.
One UI home. Internet.
So this is going to be most useful in web pages because screen search, if you haven't used it before, it's great on web pages, but it's not great in Android apps. In Android apps, it will only find terms that are on the current screen, whereas in a web page, it will find it anywhere on the page. I'm here on the Acast feed, which is the RSS feed for our podcast, which has all of our show notes. So let's say you wanted to find where we mentioned something in an episode for this example, I'm going to use TalkBack. So you're going to set your search term to TalkBack, and there are different ways you can do this. Screen search is in the TalkBack menu by default, so you can access it there. You can tap and hold with 3 fingers to bring up screen search, and then you'll be able to type in your search term. But the way I like to do it is to just use a voice command. All you have to do is say find and then your search term. So I'm going to do that. Find TalkBack.
No matches on this screen.
And as you can see, it said no matches on this screen. And now what we're going to do is change our reading control.
Paragraphs. Lines. Words. Characters. Punctuation. Speech rate. Screen search.
Till we get to screen search. And now, swiping down should just take me to the next item on the page that contains the word TalkBack.
John appeared on Double Tap recently to talk about TalkBack 15. Take a listen to his episode 196. It's all about TalkBack 15. Heading for link.
I'm just going to keep swiping.
Episode 196. It's all about TalkBack 15. Episode 196. TalkBack 15. Heading 1. This week it's all about the release of TalkBack 15, one of the most consequential TalkBack releases in years.
And that's really all there is to it. That's an easier way to navigate screen search. You can still do it the old way, but if you find it easier to just have it in your reading controls, that is now an option in TalkBack 15.1. Hope this has been helpful, and thank you for listening.
Up next is the tip of the week. This is a feature where we show you a trick or two on how to use some certain feature on your phone or some other feature in a given app. And now for this week's episode, here's your tip of the week.
And we close this week's episode with a tip of the week from Karene, who shows us how to use chat filters in WhatsApp.
Hi. WhatsApp introduced chat filters a while ago. Initially, the available filters were unread chats, group chats, and all chats. Then favorites filter was added, and now it's possible to create your own custom lists or chat filters. When you are in WhatsApp, in the Chats tab, you swipe with 2 fingers down to reveal the available filters. 2 fingers because you are using a screen reader. If you are not using a screen reader, you swipe with 1 finger. The swipe doesn't need to be long. Short swipe is enough. I'll open WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Application icon.
I'm in the Chats tab. I'll swipe down with 2 fingers.
Chat filters revealed.
This is the announcement, and on the top I have the available filters. The all chats filter is selected.
Groups. All filter selected.
Then I have
Groups filter.
for group chats,
Unread filter.
unread chats,
Favorites filter.
favorites.
Family filter.
This is a list that I created before, so it's a custom list. To create your own custom list, you tap on
Add new list button.
Add a new list. Let's select favorites.
Favorites filter.
If you haven't added any person or group to the favorites, it will show you the Add Favorites button, where you can add people or groups as favorites.
Add to favorites.
If you already added favorites, you will have the chats. Then you can tap on Manage Favorites to do edits, like if you want to remove someone from the favorites or to add other people as favorites.
Add new list button.
Let's double tap now, add a new list to create a new custom list.
Example, work, friends text box.
The focus is on the text box where I can type the name and the keyword is shown. If I swipe left,
List name. Any list you create becomes a filter at the top of your Chats tab.
This is the description, the list name.
Example, emoji button.
Let's call the list test.
Test text box, editing. Add people or groups button.
Add people or groups. If I double tap here,
WhatsApp.
I can search.
Back button, add to list. Search button.
And I can select from the list of contacts.
Only you can see who's frequently contacted.
I double tap a name to select it. Of course, I can select multiple items.
So far.
I'll double tap this name. It's selected. If I move again to the name,
so far selected.
It will tell me that it's selected when it's selected. After I'm done, I select or activate
Done button.
At the bottom of the screen to the right.
WhatsApp.
I only included one person. After I tapped Done, it selected the new list as the filter.
So far yesterday. So Manage test button.
After the chat, I have the Manage, where I can delete or edit the list. So I'll tap on Manage.
WhatsApp. Back button. Test. Delete button.
If I want to delete it,
Edit list button.
Edit list to do the edits.
Included. Add people or groups. So far. Back button.
Add to add more people, and it showed me the names of the people that are included in this list. But to remove someone, I have to tap on Edit List. And then after the name of each person, I have the delete, which will remove the person from the list, not delete the contact or delete the chat. I can manage lists also from the settings. I'll open WhatsApp settings from more options.
More options button. Settings. Settings.
And now I select
Privacy, block contacts, avatar, create, lists, manage people and groups button.
lists.
WhatsApp.
I double tapped.
Back button. Lists. Edit list button.
Edit list, which is to edit the available lists.
Use the pencil to reorder how your lists appear in the Chats tab. New list.
New list to create a new one.
Your lists.
And then I have my lists.
Groups preset. Red preset. Favorites, add people or groups.
Groups and unread are presets. I can't rename them or do edits because the unread shows the unread chats, the groups shows the group chats. I can hide them if I want to, and they will be in the available presets if I want to bring them back.
Favorites, add people or groups. Family test so far. Available presets. If you remove a preset list like unread or groups, it will become available here.
After the presets, I have my custom lists and then the available presets that I talked about before. When I select Edit List,
Edit List button. Close. Edit Lists. Done button. You can edit lists and filters here or reorder how they appear on the Chats tab.
regarding reordering, I wasn't able to move the lists. I tried, but I wasn't able to figure out how to move the lists.
Your lists.
So now I have
Groups preset.
groups
Lists delete button.
and then delete.
Red preset. Lists delete button. Favorites. Family. Lists delete button. Test. Lists delete button.
If I double tap the list name,
Test.
it won't do anything. So I can only delete. And after I finish removing the lists that I want, I tap on Done. I'll repeat how this works. When you open lists from settings, you can double tap any of the lists to do changes, or you can tap on Edit List to delete the lists that you want to remove easily, and then tap Done. Another way to add people to lists is by long pressing. So I'm in the Chats tab now.
Plus 961. Long pressed +961.
I long pressed a chat and it's now selected. If I double tap another chat, it will be also selected. Then when I tap more options
button.
And select
Block. Add to list. Add to list.
Add to list.
Choose list. Choose list. New list. Favorites. Family. Test. Done button.
I can select the list that I want the person to be in, and I can also create a new list. What I like to see is the ability to assign ringtones or notification tones to entire lists. So, for example, instead of going to each chat and selecting the tone that I want to be played for this chat, I can go to a specific list and select this ringtone for the whole list. This should make selecting or assigning notification tones and ringtones much easier compared to how it is right now on WhatsApp. Thank you for listening.
All good things must end. Thus, it's curtain drawing time, bringing us to the close of this week's episode. Coming up, though, we give you information on how to get hold of us.
Well, that's it for this week, folks. John, how can people get in touch with us?
To contact us, simply send an email to contactus@blindandroidusers.com. If you'd prefer, you can leave a voicemail by calling +1 307 202 9797. You can join our mailing list by sending a blank email to blindandroidusers plus subscribe @groups.io. You can join our Facebook and Telegram groups or subscribe to our YouTube channel using the links in the podcast show notes or YouTube video description. And you can find all of this information and more at our website, blindandroidusers.com.
Well, thanks very much for listening, everybody. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for listening. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week, God willing.
Have a great week. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye and have a great week.
Thanks for listening from me too. And I'd like everyone, wherever you're listening, particularly if you're in public and it'll look weird, to say goodbye to us out loud.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. Until we see you next week, don't forget to leave us your comments and suggestions via our email contact or using any of our social media sites. Have a great week.